For the following exercises, find the domain of each function using interval notation, an inequality, and a number line, if possible. All right. So when we approach problems about domain, basically we just have to understand what a domain is. So we can take a look down here at the bottom. All right. You can write this down if you like. That a domain is simply the possible of input values, usually x, right, that a function is allowed to have. So if I were to look at my first example over here, what I need to do is take a look at the x values, right? There's an x here, there's an x here, and there's an x here. So I'm thinking to myself, are there any restrictions now, right? If we look at the tips and tricks at the bottom, right? Step number 1, are there any restrictions on a value that I can place here for x, right? Wherever x is. And there really is not, right? There's no restrictions. I can choose 5, I can choose -2, I can choose 0, I can choose -18,972,125, right? I can choose pi raised to the e raised to the -2x. Well, not 2x, but to the -2, all right? Etc. So we can really choose any number we want. Now, that being the case, I now have identified that for this equation, there are no restrictions whatsoever. So once I realize that there are no restrictions, okay, this is the case where the domain then is all real numbers. Basically from -infinity to +infinity, right? Just like I explained just before. So now to write that using interval notation, we'll do that first. So to write this, and I'll write down interval IN for interval notation. I would have now a parenthesis followed by -infinity, comma, +infinity. Basically how this is read is that the domain of the function is from -infinity all the way to +infinity, exclusive of both -infinity and +infinity. All right, down here, that's what you have to remember. The parentheses means exclusive, and the brackets will mean inclusive. So whenever you have infinity, it's not a real number. You can never include infinity. Okay, that's basically the limit. So that's simple, right? Using interval notation. So now we'll take a look at using an inequality. Basically, once you have the interval notation set up, it's so easy to do the inequality. Just shove in an x here in the middle, essentially. So it goes from -infinity, and that will be less than x, and that will then be less than +infinity. There are no equal to signs there because, again, you cannot be equal to infinity. And then lastly, we can create now our number line. All right, so just draw a little line here. We'll place a 0 value in the middle, right? That's a square. We'll place a 0 value that goes from -infinity. That looks like an 8. So we'll go from that looks more like an 8. So let me slow down. That goes from -infinity all the way to +infinity. And again, I'm going to shade all the region that the domain can obtain. And I already know that it goes from -infinity to +infinity. So it's the whole shaded region. All right. So that would be the domain in all 3 forms. Now we're going to take a look at the second problem over here. And again, we want to think about, are there any restrictions on the value I can place in here for x? And there really is not, right? You can place whatever value you want in here. The output will depend on what you place for the input, but you can place whatever value you want in there. There's no restrictions. All right, this is a simple polynomial. So then the second part now is to write that interval notation. So basically, literally, it's going to be the same exact scenario as we had over here for the first one. Okay, whenever there's no restrictions and you're dealing with a polynomial, it'll always be from -infinity to +infinity, all of this. So I'm literally just going to copy it right on over. See, simple. And now lastly, we take a look at this function. Now, there is a certain limitation on this, right? Now you might be thinking, well, what is it? Now remember, there's a certain rule about taking a square root. You cannot take a square root of a negative number, meaning underneath the square root sign, the value cannot be negative overall. Okay, stated another way, and that's under the memorize this section, you can only take the square root of a number greater than or equal to 0. All right, so now that's important to remember because whenever you're dealing with a square root, okay, whenever there's a variable under the square root, basically you can take what's under here, which is x minus 2, and set it as being greater than or equal to 0, right? Because what's ever underneath that radical has to be greater than or equal to 0. So I set up a nice little math equation. Here I can simply solve now, right? This is just add 2 on over to the right-hand side. So we realize that x can be greater than or equal to positive 2. Now this is my restriction, okay? We have now identified a restriction for this function. And let's just move this up. So now what I'm going to do is now that and that's the only limitation, all right? That's the only restriction. So now I'm going to set up my interval notation. So we are bound by 2 is the smallest value x can obtain, but it includes 2, right? Because it's equal to. So therefore, when I write this, I'm going to use a bracket now. I'm going to put a 2 here, comma, x can be anything greater than or equal to 2. So it literally goes all the way up to infinity. But remember, you cannot include infinity, all right? So this is the proper interval notation. Now, moving on to the inequality, that's fairly straightforward, right? Just shove it in x in the middle. So it's going to be 2 less than or equal to, though, remember, because it's inclusive of 2, all right? X, and then less than infinity. So there we go for the interval notation. And now here we can create our number line. So here we go. I'm going to write the 0 value here, let's say. And now I'm going to write my, 2 will be here. So you know that you're going to place a point here at 2. The question, though, is the point an open circle, or is the circle filled in? Well, that'll depend upon if it includes 2 or not. If it includes 2, you fill in the circle. If it excludes 2, you don't fill in the circle. For this problem, remember, it could be greater than or equal to 2, and therefore it includes 2. So you fill that in, and then shade the region to the upper limit of the function. And remember, I should place out here positive infinity. All right, so that takes care of that, guys. Hopefully this helped. Not too bad, right? We have tons more practice for you too, so check out some more videos. And in no time, you will become a domain master, or the master of the domain. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Take care.